No, your first liberation of voice is with your actions. It's with the awareness that precedes your action. And even more importantly, it is correctly naming the people, places, and things in your environment that you are looking to have a commentary about. We get to be really clear about why we are using our voice. Hey y'all, I'm Lalita Gabriela Ballesteros, and this is Vocal Liberation, the world's best empowerment podcast. I have deep conversations with experts, celebrities, thought leaders, artists, and athletes so that we can step into our power, fearlessly be ourselves, and bravely do the work that we are really here to do in the world. Come on, y'all, let's dive in. You are someone who has trouble setting boundaries or wants to set more boundaries in your life, this deep dive today is 100% for you. Let's dive in. This is an incredibly common and super important conversation around how it is that you can set boundaries in your own life. And there is a major misconception, especially in the self-help spaces, the spiritual spaces, even in therapy, where people are often encouraged to verbalize their boundaries to other people. To say things such as, I'm not comfortable with that. Can you please stop doing this? I would prefer if you did X, Y, and Z. And there's this emphasis on speaking what our boundaries are. And this may be an unpopular opinion, but this is based on my professional and personal experience for over 20 years. People make a major mistake when they think that verbalizing their boundaries is the first step to them setting a boundary, protecting their space, and protecting their peace. Because the real truth is, by the time you need to verbalize something with someone, there are likely many things that have already taken place in that dynamic that are now leading you to a place where you need to speak up. I want you to imagine that you be going up to a hyena, and the hyena's doing its hyena thing in the hyena jungle, wherever it is that hyenas are chilling. And you go and you sit right next to the hyena. And homeboy decides he's gonna start munching on your arm. Just a little snack. And you look at the hyena and you say, "Sir, I would appreciate it if you could please stop munching on my arm as a snack." Now, why in the world is this such a phenomenal analogy for this example? Good question, I'm gonna tell you. Because the deeper truth is, why is your ass sitting next to a hyena? Now I'm gonna go to my therapist, I'm gonna go to my friends, luckily that I even have these resources, and I'm gonna talk about it. And if the person is really in tune and the person has experience in this, they're gonna question why I'm in this circumstance to begin with. They're gonna ask me questions like, well, how do I feel? What's my body telling me? Is this person really legit? Why am I in a circumstance where I am risking my own safety, well-being, and comfort to sit close to this person, place, or thing? In my own experience, therapists and people, and I want to be clear, I'm not bashing therapists. I'm talking from an experience of that I see is very common. The people in my life were not telling me, go the other way, you're sitting next to a hyena. Instead, it was things like, verbalize your boundaries, tell them what you need. Telling people what you need only works when those people, one, you have trust, there's some sort of agreement and commitment in place, and there's something at stake on the line. Because if I don't know you and I'm asking you to do something for me to make me more comfortable, based on very little information about you. So for example, if you're dating, if you have a new relationship in your life, or even if you're trying to change a relationship with someone that you have known for a long time. In these circumstances, when you are asking someone to shift and change, Mr. Hyena, please stop doing this. You are asking someone to fundamentally be different than who they really are. So the issue in this is not that you need to verbalize your boundaries, it's that you need to get your ass out of the place where Mr. Hyena is chilling and really reflect on your life, on why you are in these circumstances. If this is a pattern of yours, why have you perpetually found yourself in these circumstances with hyenas? And why is the inclination for you to then go back and sit and reiterate your boundary? Misconception is that vocal liberation is around, I need to tell people about themselves. No, your first liberation of voice is with your actions. It's with the awareness that precedes your action. And even more importantly, it is correctly naming the people, places, and things in your environment that you are looking to have a commentary about. We get to be really clear about why we are using our voice. I know that historically for me, I was using my voice in a way that did not serve me. I was standing in front of people, asking them to fundamentally change who they were. Our values didn't align. They'd shown me through their actions perpetually and consistently who it was that they were. And yet I wanted to sit next to hyenas because we'd been friends for a long time, because they were family, because I didn't want to be alone, because I thought they were doing something they should shift and change to be healthier, better, smarter, wiser, sober. So I sat next to them because I wanted to be close, and also because I wanted them to change. We have ways to use our voice in which, one, we're saying something because we need to say it and we're done with that, and I don't need anything from you. For example, that might be a breakup letter. That might be quitting a job. You can say what you need to say and be done with it. The second case of using our voice is when we're hoping to influence change with someone or within a scenario. Those require those elements that I talked about before. Do you have trust? Do you have commitment? Do you have buy-in? Because for someone to change their actions, they have to have a vested interest. If you are recently dating someone or in a new relationship, and you're asking yourself, you want someone to stop doing certain things because they make you feel uncomfortable, from my own experience, stop asking them to change. Use that as intel for why maybe you don't want to be in that circumstance. Understand, and before you get close and sit next to the hyena, give yourself the time and space to see who they really are. Because when we try to go and use our voice to change a situation of which we don't really have any leverage in, and the real incident here is that they're showing us who they are, our body is telling us who they are, at the very least that we don't feel comfortable around them, and we're saying, hyena, I don't want you to be a hyena. That's just denial. But the trick in this is to slow down and listen to yourself. So in summation, the key to setting boundaries, the key to vocal liberation around this, is to name correctly who it is that's sitting in front of you. Give yourself the time to deeply understand who these people are, to make an assessment. And don't give up your position in that dynamic. Don't waste your energy, waste your voice with people, places, and things that have no buy-in, no commitment, and no real reason to shift. Because if you want people to shift their value systems, you're fighting an uphill battle. If you want people to switch from being a hyena to a mongoose, good luck with that. It's about using our voice and prioritizing where we use that, naming what is in front of us correctly to know our our most appropriate actions moving forward. You don't owe anyone your voice. And if you have no buy-in, no commitment, no agreement with someone, such as in dating, or in new relationships, or in old relationships where people have perpetually betrayed you or treated you poorly, you don't owe them shit. Vocal liberation, boundary setting, is not about proving them wrong or screaming from the rooftops. It's about protecting your peace. You have work to do in the world, and you have a right to thrive. But I'm curious, what do you think about boundary setting? I recognize this may not be a common or popular opinion, but I'll tell you this, it works. If you don't believe me, try it out for yourself and let me know how it goes. That's a wrap, guys. Thank you for joining us for today's episode of Vocal Liberation. You could be anywhere and you're here with us today. Thank you for that. Your support means the world to me, and I don't take it for granted. Click the follow button and leave a review to help us spread the love with vocal liberation. If you're looking for support to free your voice and do the work that you are really here to do in the world, apply for a complimentary call with me using the link below.